I get called angry and aggressive, either on here or on my YouTube channel where I talk about the same stuff. It's not a makeup and fashion channel. I talk about the same stuff I talk about here. And, well, first we can say, that's just what black women are usually called, especially if they have any kind of confidence. But a lot of that goes into the fact that some people just aren't ready to hear the truth. And let me just use this as an example. So one of my mutuals, she made a post yesterday where she's saying she does not want to hear about your relationship drama every week, because after a while she's going to set a boundary and be like, okay, well, let's try to fix this. What's a good solution? Because it does become emotionally draining to know that your friend is being taken advantage of, and for whatever reason they're not ready to leave yet, and sometimes that can take a toll on you. And in her comment section, there are people who are agreeing with her, of course, and then there are people who are like, well, you just got to understand financial reasons, and you just got to understand it takes 7 times to leave, and you just got to understand. And I noticed something that I've spoke on before. The women that were saying that you have to understand and you have to give grace and you have to give them time and they're going to be there for their friend no matter what for as long as they need were white. And the ones that were saying, you know what, I agree, you got to set boundaries. After a while, we got to make a plan, were black. And I've spoken on this before. I really do believe it's because as black women, our lives are constantly on the line. We die at the hands of abusers at a rate higher than any other race. And even just having babies, our rate of dying is higher because doctors don't listen to us. Targets are always on our backs. So we don't have time to sit around and dilly-dally. It's like, sis, I want you to live. So we got to make a plan because you might not be here tomorrow. And unlike other races, the world is not going to rally around us and feel bad for us. They're going to say we should have chose better. They're going to tell us we're strong as a way to not help us and give us aid when we need it. So I really think that has a lot to do with it. But I also want to say this. Everybody is down for the ride when I'm talking about these toxic ass men and the bullshit that they do. But when I turn the mirror to us and I'm like, okay, let's dissect why we stayed as long as we did. Let's talk about why when we saw the first 1, 2, 3 red flags, we ignored it, we made excuses for it. Let's talk about why we keep dating the same type of men, and then it's, oh, wait a minute, you gotta understand, it's patriarchy, blah, 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 blah. And I know that. It's like preaching to the choir, you must be new here. I get the patriarchy. I get social conditioning. I get that we saw our grandmamas and our big mamas and our aunties and our, mamas accept the lowest form of any kind of thing that they could get from a man. I get that. But at some point, we got to sit and have a talk about, we got to unpack the suitcase after a while so we don't keep repeating the same patterns. You know what I'm talking about? I never forget my godmom, who was always my shoulder to cry on. And I remember I came to her and I said, why do men keep treating me like shit? And you know what she said in her sweet godmommy voice? You just got to learn to make better choices. Because we've had the conversation about how men are and toxicity and all that. She's been my shoulder to cry on for several years. But it was high time for her to be like, okay, now we need to dissect what's going on in your head so we can nip this in the bud. It's okay to have grace and patience and understanding. I was in the situation of the women that I discuss on here and on my YouTube channel. So I'm never coming from a place of judgment, okay? I get it. But there's also a time for, okay, now, girl, It's been a year, it's been 6 months. We're going to have to figure something out, all right? Because I love you and I want you to be here, all right? Or, I love you, but it's really hard for me to keep hearing you getting hurt like that's painful to me. I don't like that. I'm not emotionally strong enough to handle your burdens and also handle mine. And I don't know why it's causing me to cry to say this. But anyway, yes, we are there for our friends. We love our friends. But I'm sorry, I'm going to say the thing that you're not supposed to say. I can't love you and never say anything. I just can't. That's not love. That's enabling. And it hurts me, the fact that people don't get that. And when I was with my abusive ex-husband and I was venting and venting and venting and going on and going on and going on and going on and then going, the women that caused me to wake up were the ones that set the boundary with me. And I was like, wow, they don't want to be there for me. They don't want to listen to me. And then I slowly began to think about why that was. And those were the things that caused me to wake up. And unsurprisingly, those were the same women who were there for me when I left. Babysat my kids, gave me money, helped me get where I needed to be. So I don't care what you tell me, you're not a true friend. If at no point down the road you are able to, with love, tell the truth. There's a difference in a friend and an enabler, and we want to be careful not to be the enabler, because we can also further push patriarchy, the very systems that keep us trapped, by enabling that kind of behavior. You know what I'm talking about? I hope you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, oh well. Those who are meant to get the message will get it.